Hello, guys. Good afternoon. We'll kick off at 2 p.m. this afternoon. Hope you guys can hear me. So let's wait for another 2 or 3 minutes, and then I'll have a quick introduction, and then I'll pass it on to you guys.
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you.
Yes, yep.
Okay.
Oh, hello, Ravind, who is the hoster of your
Yes.
hoster? Can you give a hoster presenter authority to Quark? Yeah, later he will share his screen.
Yeah.
Please. Yeah. So I will give presentation for 25 minutes, and Quark he will spend about 20 minutes. So okay.
That's fine. That's fine. You can take your times.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome back to our National Cybersecurity Week, Day 5. We're just about to begin our 5th session for the day, which is most of us have been waiting for. We've got two experts from the industry. We've got Jin from Interpol, who's connected from Singapore. He is a digital crime officer at Interpol. Then we've got to say more about Jing. I would say that he's been connected with Interpol for a while, and K Young is connected with us from Korea, South Korea. He's a senior inspector, circuit trainer, who is a Korean police, South Korea again. Right. Most importantly, they're speakers of Black Hat Europe, Black Hat Asia, PACSEC HitCon, and ISCR, Kaspersky Cybersecurity Weekend. So they've been part of many events. So, and they're going to talk to us about business email compromise. I mean, something that most of us have been looking for, which is a very important hot topic for in today's world. So let me invite, without any further ado, let me hand over the stage to both of you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Dialan, for your introduction. And now, may I share my screen?
Yes, you can.
How to? Oh, where is the share screen? Da, da, da. Can you give me my host authority? I need to share my screen. So, yeah.
You can share now.
Share. Okay. Here, available. Okay, here. Oh, can you see the screen now? Yep.
Yes, it's visible.
Yes, I
Yep.
can.
Yep. Hello, everybody. My name is Seongjin Hong, and I'm a Cyber Capability Development Officer of Interpol. Currently, my main work is planning and organizing and sometimes supporting cyber capability development of member countries of Interpol. There are 194 countries in Interpol, and I think there are differences between countries in their cyber crime investigation capabilities or digital forensics. So my main goal is to anyway help member countries that in order to combat against cyber crime. So originally, I'm seconded from Korean police, and I have worked in Korean police since 2005. And now this is the fourth year in Interpol, and my second month will be 5 years. So yeah, for your information, while I worked in Korean police cyber crime bureau, I have seen lots of interesting cases, but most of all, BEC, business email compromise, took a big part of my work. So shortly, let me introduce the case I handled. Yep, it was 2016. One day I got a call from my friend who is an FBI agent, and he talked to me just about 24 hours ago. One U.S. company transferred the money to Korean bank because their email were intercepted by a criminal, and they transferred about 150,000 US dollar to one of Korean bank. Maybe if you have seen business email compromise cases, normally a criminal use international bank transfer. First of all, it's very easy to hide their crime, and normally this kind of international bank transaction take 2 or 3 days to finish its transaction. So yeah, we still had a chance. Yep, 13th February 2016, the victim realized they got scammed. Yep, about 12 hours later, because the officer who was CFO realized he was scammed because after he making transfer to Korean bank, and just 2 or 3 hours later, he talked to the CEO. Hey, Mr. CEO, I just transferred the money as you requested. And CEO responded, what you are talking, I have no idea what you're talking. Then at that time, they realized they got scammed. So as soon as they realized that, they contacted the FBI. Yep, maybe I remember it was San Francisco. And yep, in most of the country, FBI second their agent to each country. So my friend, FBI friend who work in Korea, contacted me to take some measure. Yeah, it's simple. We had a bank account number, and we contacted the banker and ask them, first of all, freeze bank account, and secondly, I ask them, please contact police when bank account holder visit banker to withdraw money. So next part was simple. Yep. As you know, money was transferred 13 February 2:30 a.m. Yep, according to Korean time, and it took about 48 hours to arrive bank account of Korea. Yep, we call it how to say it, Swift. Yeah, Swift system. Yeah. So next step was simple. I just waited at the bank till the bank account holder visited the bank to withdraw money, and luckily we arrested them. Yeah, I remember it was a Nigerian couple. Yeah, Nigerian couple who owned their own, who had their own trading. Their this investigation, they confessed they were asked by their friend to provide their bank account. But at the time, we found the guy who requested money transfer already ran away. Yeah, I think he came back to Nigeria. Yep. Okay. So yeah, but most of the time, I failed to arrest a criminal behind the BEC crime. So this case I handled when I worked in Interpol, and 2018 November 22. November 22, one Korean victim company received the email, notifying their Spanish seller changed the bank account number. Just 5 days later, victim transferred their how much is it? Yeah, 2.6 million euro to a UK bank. Originally, their seller is a Spanish bank, but their Spanish seller requested them to change bank account number, but without any doubt, they made the transaction. But 3rd December, the victim received an email, another email. The criminal requested them. Yeah, criminal impersonated as a seller, requested them to make another transaction to Turkish bank. Then 3 days later, victim realized that they got scammed, and they reported the case. This is beginning of the case. As soon as I received their report here, I checked the email. As you can see, this is just a simple PDF file. It doesn't include any malware or any macro or any other thing, just a simple PDF file, maybe I think made by Microsoft Word software. Yeah, it's very easy to make this kind of document, whatever it is, a PDF or a DOC. I think nowadays, anybody, even schoolboy or kids, they can make this kind of fake invoice. The problem is most of people easily got deceived by this kind of simple document. Yeah, that's the problem, fundamental problem of BC case, why so many people got scammed. But as you can see, on the downside, bank account number is written National Westminster Bank, and but first of all, this victim company of Korea didn't suspect at all. Why Spanish company, Spanish seller changed their bank account to UK? So as soon as we received the report, we began to analyze the email. Myself, I contacted the victim, and I requested them to share their email and password. I need to look inside their mailbox. So I found the 3 employees of the company were involved in email exchange. So next step was I had to check their email log data. Yeah, I think yeah, absolutely. I think if a BEC case is reported, we should analyze their email log of victim. But as you know, BEC email compromise comes from mostly comes from international trading. So seller or buyer, yeah, both party, one of both party can be compromised. In this case, absolutely, I think a Spanish seller party could be compromised. But I didn't have a way to access their email account. So when I checked their email log, I found one of employees' email were compromised by unknown reason. Yeah, later I think Kyungju will explain how email was compromised. Yeah. So here I found some certain pattern of email addresses. As you can see, you know, first of all, I need to check with the owner of a compromised email account whether which IP address he used. Yeah. So I filtered out IP addresses used by the victim, but at the end, I found this pattern of email. As you can see, 92, 223, 73, 111, or they belong to same C group of IP address. Yep. According to whose information, it said that the core lab custom assignment and belong to Korea. But you know, interesting thing was if you use whois information, most of the time they provide the physical address. Yeah, where the server is located. But in this case, it just gave geolocation. What is geolocation? Yeah, GPS data. It's very exceptional. Sorry, here typo. GPS location, not geo. Yeah, GPS location. So I input it. Yeah, absolutely. That geolocation data belong to Seoul, capital of Korea. But that's all. Just according to Google Map, it's just in the middle of some downtown places. That's all. I had no idea. Yep. So I had to contact Gcolab. It's a hosting company, and they also had their own server in Seoul. But I contacted Gcolab. They replied, according to who is it's written that IP address belong to Korea. Yeah, officially, but physically and practically, a server located in Europe, Luxembourg, not Korea, and that. Sorry, later I will receive a question. We have a Q&A session. Yep. So yeah, later we found that IP address were used by one VPN service, UK-based VPN service, HideMyS. Shortly, it's called HMA. And yep, I installed HMA and I tried to use the VPN, and I found I found the same IP address. This group. Yep. So I could guess, yeah, the criminal used VPN service in order to hide his IP address. And also, why they use Korean IP address? Because in order to distribute malware, you know, sometimes Korean-based email service monitors connecting IP address. So, you know, in order to reduce their risk, they use the Korean IP address. Yeah. And additionally, from criminals, from email logs of victim, I found another 2 group of IP address. One group was from Czech Republic. Another group was from Nigeria. Yep, Nigeria. We don't have to suspect what it means. And Czech IP address also belong to Avast VPN service. Here, interesting thing is nowadays Just a few years ago, when I handled BEC cases, I found a criminal, perpetrator. They just use their own Nigerian IP address. But nowadays, they begin to use VPN to hide themselves. Yeah. And yep. So additionally, in order to deceive victims and its seller, they made a new domain. As you can see, Spanish seller was wavegarden.com and Korean buyer victim company was deonplus.co.kr. So they made two fake domain. It's very easy to make a fake domain. Just to pay $10 or $50 per year. They can make a fake domain like this. And here in who is information of Wave Garden, I found the Bangkok, and this address. But remember, most of the case of BC, most of the case domain address used by BC criminal, this kind of registrant information are not true. Yeah, it's a fake. I think maybe if you make some domain by yourself, I think registrar doesn't care what information you input, just you pay by credit card, and that's all most of the time. Here, yep, Raven Garden email a domain was registered by this email address, berakenasaki@gmail.com. Yeah, I found that name sounds like some Nigerian or some African name, and under this name, under this email address, even 281 domains are registered. It means, this criminal still working and working and working. If you are interested about this case, I recommend you to read this report published by Vogel and Hamilton. In the report, they mentioned additional email address of this group, but I'm not sure whether those emails belong to the same group. The reason they mention they suspect those emails belong to the same group is this IP address, but I don't agree because this 8 IP address also belong to US service, mail host box, and I think it's just a way. It can be shared modus operandi over BEC criminal. So you know what? I cannot say this 6 email were used by same group. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah. Here, yep. Besides over cyber criminal approach, so I also followed how they laundered the money. At first, 2.6 million euro were transferred from Korea to UK Westminster Bank. Yeah, we tried to contact UK police and NCA in order to freeze money flow. We had hope freeze. We just wish the money would be left in the bank account. But I remember it took 3 days for UK police to check balance of bank account. At that time, money was already transferred to Hong Kong. Yeah, in 3 times. Yeah, in 3 days. I don't know why, but the bank account holder transferred the money in 3 days. Yeah, separately to Hong Kong. And another problem was, yeah, okay. Yeah, here, UK bank account, that bank account was opened by stolen ID card. I'm not sure whether it's true or not. Anyway, bank account holder, he or she mentioned he lost the ID card and somebody opened bank account by it, and yeah, in the bank account, 2.6 million were transferred. Yeah, so money was moved to Hong Kong in 3 days, as you can see here. Yep, here name of beneficiary company. Yeah, we could contact Hong Kong, and luckily in Hong Kong, Hong Kong police has a FIU. Yeah, case depending on case, FIU or Financial Intelligence Unit belong to another government organization. But case of Singapore or Hong Kong, FIU is belonged to their own police. But from Hong Kong, money was sent to Singapore and UAE. As you can see here, Singapore or sometimes China, or Hong Kong money was sent to UAE, Singapore, UAE. It just took, as you can see here, it was 28, 29, 30 November from UK to Hong Kong, but from Hong Kong to Singapore or UAE or other countries, 29, this is typo, I think 29, 30, or 3rd December or 7th December. So we can say it only took 10 days per criminal to transfer money. Yeah. Do you remember the victim reported this case on 6th December? Yeah. So anyway, most of when we found this bank balance of each bank account, it was too late. Yeah. Luckily, Singapore police investigation no bank account here as it travel. Yeah. Please see this part over the address 531A Upper Cross Street 2, and their unit number is 4th floor 95. If you do Google, you can find lots of company share same address. Why? Yeah, why? Yep, because of this security company. I think maybe in Hong Kong, it might be same. Also in Singapore, it's very easy to make a company if you pay some certain amount of money to this kind of security company. You can make your own company in Singapore or Hong Kong. What will be next step if you make your own company in Singapore or Hong Kong? Yeah, next step will be making a bank account with the name of the company. Yep. Also, another company which received money from Hong Kong bank account here, Little India International Trading. Its address is 101 Cecil Street. If you do Google, yeah, also lots of different company share same address. In this case, it's also this company is founded by paper company, secretary company. Yeah, sometimes their main work is to receive a phone call or receive some letters. So for you, for their customer. Yeah. So Singapore police investigation talked to me. They could froze your bank account too, and they received the phone call from Indian guy. Yep. All the companies, you know, all the bank account holder were Indian. Yeah, absolutely. They are founder of companies and who control bank account. They gave a call Singapore police and they requested to release their bank balance, but Singapore police rejected. And Singapore police also asked them, if you want to recover your bank account, please visit police station. But I heard they rejected, yeah, because you know, they will be arrested by Singapore police and they will be under investigation. Yeah, so when I analyze the pattern of their money flow, sometimes I suspect, you know, BC criminal, you know, clean their money by this network, and at the end, sometimes they might purchase some product too, and sometimes they ask, you know, after money laundering, they purchase some items and they ask seller to transfer it to Nigeria or another African country. Yeah, here is all of my presentation, and I will give floor to my friend Kyungju. Yeah. Thank you. Here I will stop sharing. Yep. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Can I get permission to share my monitor? Okay.
Just done.
Okay. Oh, no, sorry. I have to share another. Oh, wait. Okay. Okay. First of all, thanks for having me, and also thanks to Songjin, Mr. Hong, for interesting talk. Okay, my name is Kyungju Kwak and working for S2W Lab. It will be maybe you haven't heard about this company. Actually, I have worked for financial sector for a long time, and I moved to this nice company recently. And also I'm working on cyber threat intelligence, and actually I'm analyze malware and threat intelligence, something like that. This time, I'm going to talk about dark web and Formbook Tracker and BEC, which is talked by Songjin, and also Silverterrier. Okay. First of all, I'm going to explain what Formbook is. Simply, this malware is sold on the dark web and deep web. We call it MAS, which stands for Malware as a Service. This malware's key features are key logging, stealing browser, saved credential, and screen capture, and also it has a lot of malicious feature. And this Formbook price on dark web and deep web, their service scheme is well organized. If customer wanna build malware fit for their own infrastructure, then Formbook seller will make it with about $300. Many other threat actors are using Formbook to steal information from victims nowadays. And this malware is basically programmed by using .NET program language and obfuscated inside of code in a very, very difficult way. So it's quite difficult to analyze whole process of malware. In addition, similar malware family to Formbook is several things such as Lockybot or Agent Tesla. Now I'm going to tell you about Formbook Tracker on the dark web. It's discovered 13th July on the dark web at first. This onion address wasn't exposed to anywhere such as SNS like Twitter, Facebook, and also deep web forum and dark web sites. Each operator wanted to run this site very secretly. This site is still alive and updates regularly, maybe every Monday. Yeah, they work just on Monday. And this is the list of CNC servers extracted from Formbook Tracker. This list is being updated continuously. If you want, I can share all of my data to Sri Lanka Search or Interpol or anywhere. Yeah, I can share. And now I will show you Formbook infection statistics. Here, this is a Formbook spread map as shown in the figure. It's widely spread out. The following graph shows the change in the number of infections over time. Early of the year, its victims are not that many, but from April, the number of infections began to rise. Finally, Formbook has been spread out widely and aggressively since June. Here are several statistics pulled from the victim's PC which logged on Formbook Tracker. In case of infected machines of South Korea, the number of pieces that the bot was alive for more than 60 days is 3.2% of the total. Between 30 and 60 days, 10.9% and 43% were between 1 and 30 days. In the case of less than 1 hour, it is very small at 6.4%. But in this case, it seems to be a security device like email security solution or sandbox or EDR. In the case of the operating system of the victim's PC, Windows 10 was the most common with 57.2%, and Windows 7 was about 36%. Next, in the case of the bot version, the most recent version is 4.1, was the most common at 85%. As you can see from the statistics, the attacker is not only using the latest version, but using various versions, but mostly latest version. Statistics around the world are currently being made. It will be released soon. This graph shows the exact figures for the countries with the highest number of infections. China is by far the most infected. India follows. Others are the United States and Indonesia. In the case of Sri Lanka, the number of infections is not that large. And when I check the IPs, most of them are dynamic, not static, dynamic IPs. So I couldn't figure out what the infected pieces were exactly. The following were comparative statistics for the time of initial discovery and present time. From the left, statistics on the total number of bot IDs generated after the Formbook infects the PC. The infected IPs removed from duplicates, and the last one is the number of infected countries. Actually, in case of number of unique infected IP, it changes a lot. But the case of number of infected countries, not that much. There is not that much change. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the process of identifying how Formbook Tracker and Nigerian scam BEC, which is told by Sungjin Hong, and Silverterrier are connected. First of all, we should know about Silverterrier. This group name is dubbed by Palo Alto Unit 42, which is a threat intelligence team in Palo Alto. This group is known as, Silverterrier, is known as the Nigerian cybercrime gang, and it's known to conduct business email compromise, or according to the Palo Alto Unit 42 intelligence report. For reference, the analysis on Formbook Tracker is currently being conducted in collaboration with the analyst of Palo Alto Unit 42. And please refer to the report below for more details. Actually, Palo Alto is writing about Silverterrier for a long time. So it will help a lot. These figures show us that how Silverterrier and Formbook Tracker is connected. In the upper red box, the malware distribution site used in the BEC related attacks in the Palo Alto intelligence report. There are lots of malware distribution sites, but I just extracted from several things, only several things. And the malicious code installed on the victim's PC connects to the CNC server for further attack. And get some comments from the CNC server for further attack. And we have confirmed that the malware communicate with the CNC servers found in the Formbook Tracker. In other words, they use the same infrastructure. same server and same similar IP and a method of how they make the domain of CNC server. Which means that Silverterrier is related to the Formbook Tracker, or they are just the same group. So we believe that Formbook Tracker is being operated by Silverterrier, which conduct the BEC Nigerian scan. And the important thing is that Silverterrier is now running some operating sites on the dark web to monitor their victims. And this figure shows us adversary IPs, which access to inside of the admin panel of 6 servers. Circles are 6 servers. Can you see that? And orange, lots of orange circles or IPs access to inside of admin panel of C2, not only login page. Actually, these IPs are acting like operator inside of this admin panel. Shown in the figure, lots of IPs are used. Here is the statistics of adversary IPs. Organized by country. And we found 1,213 IPs belong to 55 countries. 56% of adversary IPs belong to Nigeria. Yeah, of course. And next is the United States, and Turkey, and South Korea. South Korean IP has an interesting part, which will be explained in more detail later. But also, Songjin told about this already. Okay, furthermore, attackers are using many other countries' IPs. In case of Southeast Asia, Philippines, Hong Kong, Indonesia, Taiwan, Thailand, and China, India, Malaysia, Vietnam, and Cambodia. Also, as I told you before, if you want adversary IPs from these countries and for your country, then I can share these IPs. And here is the overlapped Nigeria IP class between Mr. Hong's data and my data. All Nigerian IPs belong to Airtel networks in Nigeria. Actually, so far I couldn't find these IPs belong to any VPN service. You can know that this group is using this IP class for a long time. It's from 18, sorry. Here are South Korean IPs used by attackers, but as Mr. Hong said before, actually these are not South Korean IPs. Actually belong to Luxembourg. And in case of IP class, start with 92.223. Is actually hide my S VPN IP. These Korean IPs are reassigned to the VPN at least since 2006. Any these IP classes also overlapped between past investigation case and Formbook Tracker. And also, I extracted some data from Shodan.io, and it told me that these IPs, which starts with 210, is running VPN service. I couldn't check whole adversary IPs detail, but one thing I found was that at least Nigerian IPs were not VPN. And if I analyze more adversary IPs and find some interesting things, then I will share. Here are adversary emails I found by collaboration with Malbeacon team. Actually, Malbeacon is an awesome tool. If if you haven't heard about this service, then you should use this. Okay, these emails are not normal. They were used to spread malware and sometimes used as collect victims' information. I redacted emails because I need to analyze more about this secretly. And also I hope these emails can link to their real identity. At last, here are C2 domain restaurant emails, and we need to monitor the behavior of these emails. I think they love gmail.com. Yes. Here is conclusion. Nigerian scam group is operating the victim tracker on the dark web. And secondly, many countries are targeted by Formbook to steal information and BEC as well. And we need to investigate internationally to take down this cybercrime gang. And we continuously find pages such as the Formbook Tracker that are secretly used without advertisement on deep web and social media. And through this, actionable intelligence can be secured. Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you so much. That was a lovely session for both of you. Let me see if we have any questions from our audience. So we have 2 questions. Okay. Right. What are C2 servers? Any of you want to take that?
Well, C2 servers. This is server C2 means. Can I say about this? Okay, C2 stands for CNC, and
Okay.
it stands for command and control. When victims are infected by malware, and this malware get command from this CNC server.
And what is a mechanism to detect spoofing emails? Can you hear me, Jing?
Oh, I can hear you.
Young. So the question is, what is a mechanism to detect spoofing emails?
Mechanism of detecting spoofing emails?
Correct. That's a question. Yes.
Yeah, according to my knowledge, when we do investigation in victims' mailbox, we read the email header. Email header is like a envelope of a letter, and even though email address of sender seems the same, if you look inside, there is a header information. I forget the expression, but sender IP or sometimes sender IP or sender's URL is written in header. Yeah, in case of spoofing email, that information is different. For example, every day I receive email abc@gmail.com from my counterpart. But one day I got an email from same email address, but it included malware. In that case, by analyzing email header, I can see it's spoofed. Yeah, email header is answerable. Yeah.
Perfect answer. I mean, there's nothing much. The only way that you can detect spoofing email is going through the headers. There is one more thing. What is the best way to detect if the suspected have used proxies?
Obvious process.
Yes. I mean,
yeah, okay. According to my knowledge, nowadays, proxy server make a problem, when criminal intentionally use it to hide their IP address to hide themselves. But
Yeah.
maybe Netflix. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In the example of Netflix, even though people their customer in USA and Japan and China and Korea, depending on country, they have a different contract with the users or with the content suppliers, like video or movie or TV series. So depending on the country, what you can see is different. So sometimes people use a VPN service or proxy server to watch some TV show which is not available in their country, but Netflix detected how they do it. I don't know detail, but first of all, they had a database which
Okay.
IP addresses belong to VPN company or which IP address belong to proxy server. Yeah, first of all, they have a database, and secondly, what I know is they calculate response time. Yeah, I know they did some research. If we use a proxy server or VPN, how it makes difference in their response time. And Kyungju, do you have more thing to add?
Sorry, I didn't. I didn't listen. Yeah, I was just typing some answer to
Right.
other questioner. Yeah, sorry.
Okay,
That's okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Now, let's say sometimes when you, the next question which has been asked is that sometimes when you have received an email from Gmail or Yahoo, you cannot find the sender. I mean, the email address, the IP address that you find is the SMTP server of Google or Yahoo. So in that case, what can be taken? How do we go about finding the IP address? What is the way forward? So have you had any instances where you've been able to get those information from those relevant email providers and take the case forward?
Yeah, that's good question. Let's see, exactly. Recently, our police investigator suffered from. At the beginning, we could find the sender's IP address. Yeah, it was the way we did the investigation, how to analyze email header and how to find the sender's IP address from email header. Problem is nowadays, Yahoo, MSN, Google, they hide the sender's IP address. So email header analysis doesn't work in that case. Yeah, what will be next step? It's not available by some private company or any private person. Only law enforcement we should contact. Yeah, officially, legally, Google or that kind of company, or we should contact U.S. government in order to get data from that internet service providers. Yep. Technically, I can't say anything about that. Yeah, just we took a legal measure. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. So what is the best practice, I mean, to protect against these sort of attacks from spoofing and, I mean, to prevent emails being compromised? I mean, what sort of things that you can do from an administrative perspective, for an individual, what is your advice?
Kyungju, you have anything to mention about it?
Yeah, there is several way to protect from spoofing email, like DMARC. I don't remember the exact name of it. DMARC or like spam
Yeah, right.
filter. Yeah, yes. There are many ways to protect from spoofing. So you should adopt this kind of methodology, and so it can provide you a quite good method. Yeah. That's my opinion.
Okay. So how trustworthy? Yeah, go on.
Yes, shortly, in case of business email compromiser, most of time, target is trading company who which sells something to foreign country or who buys something from foreign companies or foreign country. Yeah. So in that case, yeah, beginning is email compromiser, but next step is they provide their their own bank account number. So in that step, that companies should check whether the email is true or not. They should check it by telephone call. Yeah, because of time difference, they skip it. But if they are requested to transfer money to another bank account, they should check by telephone. They can defend it. In other case, I recommend them to use two-factor authentication to use their email address. Even though their email address and password are stolen by malware, if they have a two-factor authentication, criminal cannot access to their email account. Yeah.
Thanks for that. So how trustworthy or reliable is a source like VirusTotal in checking URL malicious files? How trustworthy or reliable is a source like VirusTotal to check URLs and files?
Yeah, okay. Actually, very difficult question. If you want believe about VirusTotal, I think, yeah, VirusTotal is not perfect. So you should know about OSINT, open source intelligence. So, and if VirusTotal said this email URL or malware file is normal, not malicious, then you should have a kind of technology to confirm by yourself. And also you can use other service like OSINT service or something like that. Yeah.
And what are the threat intelligence sources that you are generally using?
Open source intelligence?
Yeah.
Risk IQ. Have you ever heard about it? Risk IQ and VirusTotal. Let me see. Yeah.
MITRE.
Yeah, you're right. And Threat Cloud, and Threat Miner, Alien Bolt, Domain Big Data, and Shodan, URL House, Sensis, a lot. Yeah, and also Malbeacon, as I told before in my presentation, Malbeacon, Malbeacon, is quite new service. I'm not a salesman of Malbeacon, but it's really good.
Thank you. I think one more final question. How do you take down services like this that are listed on otherwise anonymous dark web?
Okay. First of all, we need to monitor their mistake. It's basic. And sometimes they made mistakes such as exposure, their real IP. When you search welcome video case, it was the criminal's mistake. And also there is another way. Some people said that there is a vulnerability related to Apache or Tomcat web server, which is running on the dark website. So I don't know what is the vulnerability, what vulnerability is, but yeah, there is a vulnerability. Yeah, okay.
Right. Thank you so much. So let me thank both of you on behalf of Sri Lanka. Sir Jing from Interpol Singapore, who's connected from Singapore, and then we had Kay Yong head of
his name
security.
is yeah, Kyungju, exactly same. His name is Kyungju. Yeah.
Right, thank you.
No problem. No problem. Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much, guys, for your time. So with that, that's the end of day 2. I do want to remind our audience that we have a session back again on the 27th, which starts off with a panel discussion. And then we have a hacking challenge on the 28th and another panel discussion again on the 29th. And there's also a few other events again next week. So please, for more information, do take a look at our official webpage or our Facebook page. Let me also thank our sponsor, Cisco, for giving us a platform. Silverterrier for giving us, who will be providing us a hacking challenge platform, and SLT Dialogue and Mobitel for giving free data access. Thank you so much. So thank you, everyone, for being connected. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Bye.
See you. Bye.
Bye.